Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Tell me, have you ever felt the kind of pain that Tuna carries? A single mother, orphaned, with no family beside her, living a quiet, honest life, working hard every day, yet somehow, life keeps throwing storms at her. And still, she chooses kindness, she chooses strength, she chooses to keep going. Today, we're going to explore her story, a journey of healing, warmth, and the unexpected moments that can change a lonely life forever. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss our next episodes. And please let us know where you're watching from, and share your thoughts down below. Your voice means so much to us. The northern cold had been settling in like an old, stubborn guest, one that nobody invited, but somehow always showed up on time. The mornings felt slow and heavy. Mist lay across the rice fields like a soft blanket, and the chill bit through layers of clothing with the confidence of a long-time intruder. Alex felt it the second he stepped outside. That slicing wind, that smell of coming rain, that tightening in his chest. Normally, he wasn't the type to fuss about weather, but today, his mother's aching joints were the only thing on his mind. For a week straight, she had been quietly rubbing her knees, pretending nothing hurt, just like older mothers everywhere, the kind who believe suffering in silence is a form of strength. But Alex knew better, and the timing couldn't have been worse. He had a business trip starting that very night. He stood by the gate a while, staring at the gray sky, wondering how he was supposed to leave when the cold was only getting worse. Then his phone buzzed. A message from Tuna. "Alex, I heard you're traveling soon. Should I stay with Mom for a few days? Henry loves her anyway. I'm afraid she'll be alone in this cold." Alex reread the message more times than he'd admit. Relief washed through him so deeply, he had to lean on the gate. Tuna always had a way of appearing exactly when life felt too heavy. That afternoon, she packed Henry's clothes, diapers, and his little cow-patterned winter jumpsuit, thick, soft, and ridiculously adorable. She grabbed Ginger, her mother's scarf recipe, and a few simple things she knew Alex's mother would need. By the time she reached the house, Henry was squealing excitedly, kicking his tiny legs like he already knew he was going to be spoiled. The door swung open even before she knocked. "Oh, my sweet Henry!" Alex's mother swept the baby right into her arms, showering him with kisses. Henry answered with a loud, happy babble, grabbing her sweater as if claiming her officially. "Mom," Tuna laughed, "let me bring the bags in." The older woman blinked in surprise. "You're staying? With me?" "Yes, Mom. Alex is leaving tonight. I'll look after you until he returns." For a moment, the older woman's face softened with that mixture of gratitude and vulnerability a mother shows only when she truly feels cared for. "You're too good to me," she whispered. That night, while the wind howled loud enough to shake the windows, the house seemed unusually warm. Henry napped on a thick blanket, his tiny hands twitching in his sleep. Tuna quietly boiled ginger, sliced it thin, and prepared warm water just the way her mother used to. Gentle heat, pinch of salt, a familiar scent rising into the air. "Mom," she called softly, "come soak your feet. The cold is too harsh today." Alex's mother stared at the steaming basin. "Heavens, child, nobody has done this for me in years. You have me now." Tuna smiled. The older woman slowly lowered her feet into the water. She inhaled sharply, not from pain, but from the memory of being cared for. Warm steam curled around her legs. Her eyes glistened. Tuna knelt down and massaged her calves with careful, thoughtful hands. Not the rushed, mechanical kind of massage, but the slow, motherly kind, where fingers listen more than they press. Nearby, Henry giggled at nothing in particular, slapping his hands on his blanket like he was cheering his mother on. "You know," the old woman murmured, her voice trembling, "this house feels warm again, because of you." Tuna's cheeks flushed. "I'm just doing what I can." "No," the woman shook her head. "You're doing much more. You bring life into this home. And that little boy," she tickled Henry's toes, "brings sunshine." Later, while the ginger water cooled beside them, Tuna brewed tea. They sat together in the softly lit living room, the heater humming its gentle lullaby. Outside, the wind pressed against the windows, but inside felt like a different world. "Tuna," the older woman said, folding her hands over her lap. "I'll say this honestly, as an old woman who has lived through many winters. I hope you and Alex marry soon. I hope you and Henry live here. I want this home full again." The words hit Tuna like warm water on cold skin, comforting yet overwhelming. "Mom, Her voice cracked before she could steady it. "You don't need to rush," the woman said gently. "But happiness is rare, child. When it knocks, don't shut the door." At that moment, Henry let out a soft, sleepy sigh, just the way babies do when life is simple and love is close. Tuna looked down at him, then at the older woman, and for the first time in a long time, her heart dared to imagine a future, a warm home, a family, a place she could finally belong. The wind outside moaned again, but inside Alex's small village house, something blossomed quietly, like a tiny flame refusing to die out. Something healing, something hopeful, something that felt like the beginning of a new life. The next morning arrived wrapped in a deeper chill. Frost clung to banana leaves outside like thin lace, and the village roosters crowed half-heartedly, as if even they wanted to stay under the blankets a little longer. Inside Alex's home, however, warmth drifted through the rooms in quiet, gentle waves. Henry woke first, wriggling under his blanket and grabbing tufts of Tuna's hair with chubby determination. She groaned softly. "Henry, sweetheart, Mommy needs at least 5 more minutes." Henry answered by squealing directly into her ear. Tuna sat up with a laugh. "All right, you win." When she carried him into the living room, Alex's mother was already awake, legs wrapped in a soft blanket, a peaceful smile lingering on her face. "That child brings the sun inside with him," the old woman murmured as she reached for Henry. "And you," Tuna teased, "bring him more joy than any toy I've bought." Breakfast was simple: steaming porridge, fried eggs, pickled radish. But the laughter made everything taste richer. The old woman fed Henry tiny bits of mashed egg, and he giggled so loudly that Tuna swore the neighbors could hear. By late morning, Tuna began tidying the kitchen. She scrubbed dishes, rinsed vegetables, wiped surfaces with the habitual rhythm of a young mother who had learned life moves smoother when the home stays warm, bright, and clean. Alex's mother watched her from the doorway, leaning gently on the frame. "You work too hard," she said. Tuna looked up, brushing her hair behind her ear. "It's nothing, Mom. I'm used to it." "That's exactly what worries me." The older woman walked slowly to the table. "You young ones, you think doing everything alone is normal." She sighed. "I used to be the same. I learned too late that a woman shouldn't carry everything by herself." Tuna paused, sponge in hand. The old woman reached out and tapped her wrist lightly. "Come here for a moment, child." When they sat down together on the sofa, Alex's mother gently held Tuna's hand, warm, steady, comforting. "I know you've suffered," she whispered. "People may see your smile, but I see the sadness behind it. I see how strong you pretend to be." Tuna swallowed hard. Her lashes trembled. "There were days," she confessed quietly, "when I felt like the world was too heavy. When Henry cried and I didn't even have milk to feed him. When I looked around and no one was there." Her voice cracked, and the old woman squeezed her hand tightly. "But you kept going," she continued. "You raised that child with love. You fought through every winter." She brushed a strand of hair away from Tuna's forehead with motherly affection. "And now you're here, in a home that cherishes you." Before Tuna could respond, Henry crawled across the rug, his tiny bottom wiggling comically, before climbing determinedly into his mother's lap. Alex's mother laughed so hard she nearly teared up. "Oh, he always knows when to comfort you." The atmosphere softened into gentle warmth, like a blanket settling around the three of them. As afternoon drifted in, the wind began picking up again. Angry gusts beat against the windows, reminding them winter had no intention of being gentle this year. Tuna went to shut all the windows, pushing towels into the cracks to block the draft. She moved with quiet purpose, making sure every corner stayed warm. Alex's mother watched her with a mixture of admiration and affection. "You think of others before you think of yourself," the older woman said. Tuna turned, startled. "It's just how I've always been." "That's why Alex cares for you so deeply." Tuna froze. She didn't know what to say, didn't know what she was allowed to hope for. Sensing her silence, the old woman simply patted the seat next to her. "Come, sit." Tuna sat gently, holding Henry against her shoulder. The baby rested his cheek on her collarbone, breathing softly, trusting her completely. Alex's mother rested a hand on Tuna's back, rubbing slow, comforting circles. "You deserve to be loved," she whispered. The words broke something open inside Tuna. Her eyes filled instantly. She turned her face away, but one tear, then another, slipped free. "Oh, child," the old woman murmured, pulling her into a gentle embrace. "Don't hide it. Don't pretend you're made of stone." Tuna covered her mouth to stifle a sob. Years of exhaustion, years of doing everything alone, years of loving her son so fiercely she forgot to care for herself. All of it came pouring out in trembling breaths. Henry stirred, sensing her emotion. He burrowed closer into her chest, warm and soft, his tiny hands clutching her shirt reassuringly. Alex's mother stroked her hair. "You're not alone anymore," she said firmly. "Not in this house, not in this family." At those words, Tuna finally let herself breathe. Deep, shaky, healing breaths. A soft vibration from her phone startled her. A message from Alex. "How are you all doing? I'm thinking of you." Tuna looked at the screen, tears still clinging to her lashes. For once, instead of pushing the feeling away, she allowed herself to believe that maybe, just maybe, a warm future was waiting for her. A family was waiting for her. Happiness was finally reaching back. Tuna, a gentle single mother with no family of her own, steps in to care for Alex's aging mother while he leaves for a business trip during a harsh northern winter. Worried about the cold worsening his mother's joint pain, Alex feels deep relief when Tuna offers to stay. At the house, warmth slowly returns. Henry's cheerful giggles brighten every corner, and Tuna's thoughtful care touches the older woman's heart. She prepares ginger foot baths, cooks simple, comforting meals, and fills the home with tenderness it hasn't felt in years. As days pass, Alex's mother begins to see Tuna and Henry as her own family, softly encouraging a future where they